So today I'm going to start working on this little 3D window that I got from SaCrafters. She is found on Zibbit. She has a Zibbit store, and I'll post the link for her store below in the description. So make sure to check out her store if you'd like to get one of these of your very own. What I'm going to start doing today is I know season 4 of Downton Abbey has started, and I have a lot of friends that are Downton Abbey fans. Now it started in the UK and it's not here in the US yet. So when it does come, I'm planning to have a little party at my house. So I thought I would make some little gift favors for my friends and do a tea party. So I'm going to make these windows have a little tea bags inside of them as well. And then each one will have a character right here in the center. So to add a little bit of dimension to this piece, I'm going to use one of the masks that I also got from SaCrafters, and it's this brick. And I'll put the link for these products below. So this one, you'll see it has it'll just be the lines for the brick and not the actual bricks themselves. So I thought that would add a nice texture to my background right here. So I'm going to line it up right about here and just add some modeling paste from Golden in order to add that texture. After that, I'm going to use my black gesso, and I'm going to gesso the entire project, not just this piece, the front, the back, as well as all the little pieces that go for the box as well. So I just wanted to show you really quickly, don't be afraid to use these templates or any of the ones that you have or the ones that SaCrafters makes with the molding paste, because as you'll see, it washes right off. What I do is I'll do my technique, I'll put it down on my project, and then I immediately take it over to the sink and rinse it with some hot water. And it comes off all your tools just fine. So don't be afraid to use the molding paste. It will come off as long as you just treat your products good and rinse them as soon as you use them, and you'll get a long life out of all your templates. So the next step is I'm going to use some Tim Holtz Distress Paint, and this color is in Tarnished Brass. So the next thing that is from Saw's store are these little metal pieces. So there's this one right here. And this corner piece, I believe this corner piece came in a set of 4. And then there's also this flower. And I think I got 2 of these. So I'm going to first apply Versamark on them. And then I'm going to add some embossing powders for Lindy's Stamp Gang. One of these is Midnight Copper Obsidian, and the other one is Royal Burgundy Blue. So I zoomed in a little bit to show you the difference. This is with the embossing powder Midnight Copper Obsidian from Lindy's Stamp Gang. It adds this reddish tone to these pieces, whereas this is what the original color was. It's almost like an antique brass, but now you'll see a big color difference. So the embossing powder sticks perfectly to this metal, and then you're able to change it to whatever color you like by just adding some Versamark and embossing powder to these metals. So that's another neat little fact about embossing powders. You can use them to change any color on your project. So this flower here I'm changing to a red tone. And so on this one, I'll be using the Royal Burgundy Blue. The nice thing with Lindy's Stamp Gang is they have like a two-tone effect with their embossing powders. So when I put it on here, some portions will look reddish and other portions will look kind of bluish after it's been heated. Since these tones are so deep now with the embossing powder, this distress paint that I used is kind of bright because it really matched that antique brass finish that used to be on these items. So I think I'm going to go back in and try to make these a little bit darker as well so that we have more of a uniform look. So now on this piece, I think I'll add just a little bit of color, well, not really color, but some accents with some liquid pearls. One of these is bisque and the other one is copper. So now I've been playing with a few more pieces that's also found at Saw's store, and one of them is these little clock hands here. I decided I would put a couple of those right here, kind of showing that it's about time to start, and kind of put about the time it is when it comes on in the evenings. So those will go there, and I'm going to go ahead and use some more of that Lindy's Stamp Gang embossing powders. On this one, I'll probably use the Midnight Copper Obsidian, just like I originally used on this piece right here, so that they kind of look like they go together. And then on this back piece, this is from another set of chipboard cutouts that Saw has on her store. It's one of the set of leaves. So it came out of this, and I kind of messed with several different cutouts. And I'll probably put it back here, but I'm going to cut it in half and turn the other half this other direction. And so with this, I'm going to use the Midnight Emerald Obsidian on this one to get like a green color on the front. I also have a chain from Tim Holtz, and I'm going to take this clasp off and save it. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect it from the ring right here and attach that here so that it can lay down, and then I'll add some charms onto this piece that can dangle off of the flower area. The other thing I'm going to do is gesso the back of this, since the back pieces will show, and I also need to go ahead and heat emboss the back sides of these pieces since they will show on the back side of my project. So let's get to work. So I added a little bit more color to the little clock hands here by using the same color that's on the flower, and I added the embossing powder to the green. So now I'm going to use some hot glue and just adhere the metal pieces. Normally I would use E6000, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just going to use hot glue and create some accents on this little piece down here. So the last couple of things that I'm going to make to fit inside of the box right here are a couple of mini envelopes. So this little one, I just make these with my Martha Stewart scoring board and just follow the directions there for the size that I want. This is the smallest envelope that you're able to make, that they actually have measurements for on that board. So I made one of those, and it will tuck in right here really nicely. I'll just kind of overlap the charm a little bit. Let me find my feather. There we go. And it'll just kind of overlap like so. And then the other thing I'll do is I just went ahead and measured this one a little bit smaller than the smallest one. I think I went in about 1/4 of an inch on all sides to make just a smaller one that fits right here, just to hold probably like a little tea bag. So I'll go ahead and decorate these little envelopes, and then we'll have our finished project. I've now finished my first project for SaCrafters design team. I'll put the link for her store again below, and also I will link all the items that I used from her store below in the description so that you can get these very exact items for yourself. The box is the wooden box itself. The window is made by her, and then she also sells these metal embellishments as well as the flower, and she also laser cuts these chipboard pieces that I heat embossed. So all of those were heat embossed with Lindy's Stamp Gang, and then I added some liquid pearls into the center of that flower. I glued on a feather that is from Joann's, and I also used Lindy's Stamp Gang on the greenery in the background. The charm is a bunch of different things from Tim Holtz. The chain itself, the clear fragments, the pearls, all of those are from Tim Holtz line. And then the shiny button here on the ribbon of the envelope, that's also the Tim Holtz line. So then what I did here is, I don't know if you can see the detail on the box itself. I did use the, you'll be able to see it better on the back. Let me turn it around. This is the brick stencil. So I just used some modeling paste with that. I'm sorry, is it modeling? No, molding paste. I'm sorry, molding paste on the templates that SaCrafters has for the brick, and that gave it the added texture, and then I painted over it with black gesso. So inside you'll see I have two envelopes. One is to put the note for a friend, and the other one is to put a tea bag. So right here, this little tea stamp is from La La Land Crafts, and I just put it on there gently, and then I also did this will house a little note in it, and that also is a teacup from that same stamp set. And then I just used my Nestabilities dies to add the accents and just roughly sketched out with my Copic markers coloring of the teacup. That one, because this is a very rustic design that I'm working with, I didn't make it completely smooth, and that was on purpose. So thank you for watching, and make sure to tell Sa that you were sent over from Two Tiny Treasures. Thank you for watching.